Everyone, welcome to Chakra Healing 101. This is week 8. So this week we are learning about the crown chakra, which is the last chakra in the system. So we'll learn the location, color, and attributes. We'll explore the signs of imbalance and their physical/emotional imbalances. We'll also learn about the shadow aspects, and I'll provide you with healing techniques so you are able to open and heal your crown chakra. And then linked in the channel is also the crown chakra meditation/Reiki session. All right, so the crown chakra is this indigo color or white also, and it's on top of the head, and it relates to spirituality or connection with the divine. So, if you experience a blocked chakra, you may be disconnected from spirituality or you may have confusion. So, the themes of this chakra are the connection with spirit, consciousness, thoughts and intellect, belief systems, and your spiritual identity. So, let's talk about the connection with spirit. So, the crown chakra is our main connection to a higher power. Whether you call the higher power God, Spirit, Allah, or something else, the crown chakra helps you communicate with it. So messages from Spirit come in many forms, including clairaudience, clairvoyance, and intuitive feelings. So, like mentioned here, it doesn't matter what you call this higher power, but you're connecting to the higher power that you believe in. Consciousness. So consciousness is your awareness that you are an infinite soul. It creates our thoughts, experiences, emotions, and connects us with the universe. So when you expand your consciousness, you become more aware of the mysteries of the universe. The crown chakra helps you to connect with this consciousness and expand it for spiritual enlightenment. Thoughts and intellect. So since the crown chakra is closest to the brain, it also governs most of the issues of the mind. So intelligence, thought, and focus are all highly influenced by the energy of this chakra. It is also in charge of claircognizance, which is the spiritual gift of clear knowing. So when you possess this gift, you simply know certain things, even if you have no evidence to back it up or any knowledge of this. So your crown chakra is the source of your thoughts, ideas, and messages you get from claircognizance. Belief systems. So the crown chakra is also where you store your overarching belief systems. This could relate to spirituality and religion, but non-theistic belief systems are also stored here. So a healthy crown chakra usually results in belief systems that are receptive and open-minded. Spiritual identity. So since the crown chakra is in charge of all spiritual matters, it helps us attune to our spiritual identity. As we live on this earth, we take on an earthly persona to navigate the world, but our true identity is our soul. So what are some common reasons for a blocked chakra? So you may be attached to earthly matters, earthly concerns. You may have experienced spiritual abuse, and you may have experienced an invalidation of your beliefs. So let's talk about attached to earthly concerns. Though being rooted in earthly matters is essential to having a solid foundation in life, this does not mean that we should ignore spiritual matters. Connecting with spirit brings life, peace, and satisfaction to our soul. When you focus only on making money and acquiring material things, you ignore your soul, which can cause depression and a feeling from a lack of meaning in life. So remember, we're trying to find balance within this world. We are, of course, in a human vessel. Our souls are in a human vessel, and we need to take care of the earthly matters to survive. But we have to remember that we are a soul, and we also need to take care of that connection with spirit. Spiritual abuse occurs when a person forces another to follow their religion or spiritual path. It often involves manipulation and control, usually through fear tactics and harmful beliefs. So, the most common victims of spiritual abuse are children who are not given the right to think or believe things that are different from the adults around them. And this is a very interesting point. I think we've all been there. If you come from a religious background, then you're typically raised into a religion. For example, myself, Christianity. I was not given a choice of what to believe, this religion. I was just placed there and I was told I needed to believe these beliefs, or else there would be repercussions. Um, and this applies to many other religions or non religious beliefs also in the family. So children don't really have a say in forming their own beliefs. And if they question, they're usually reprimanded or abused for that reason. So the invalidation of beliefs. So whether spiritual or intellectual, when someone invalidates our beliefs, it invalidates our core identity. The way we view and experience the world is what makes us unique. When someone invalidates our beliefs, it robs us of our uniqueness. Though not everyone will always agree with us or see things the way we do, we all deserve to be respected for our ideas. If you experience blocked or imbalanced crown chakra, you may over intellectualize things. You may have a developmental and learning disability. You may experience anxiety. You may have addictions. You may experience depression. You may experience psychosis. You may feel dissociated with life, or you may feel overwhelmed. You may also experience physical things. So the crown chakra rules over the brain, the nervous system, and the pituitary gland. So you may experience headaches and migraines, brain tumors, brain injuries, amnesia, poor coordination, or cognitive problems. Some life challenges that may occur because of a blocked crown chakra. So you may lack a spiritual life or spiritual cynicism. You may have learning difficulties. You may have a spiritual addiction. You may be confused. You may have difficulty concentrating. You may have a need to always be right. You have limiting beliefs or a lot of limitations in your beliefs, or you may have harmful, severely limiting belief systems that really hold you back. So, an underactive crown chakra looks like being misunderstood. You can't have fun. You're unaware or denying your personal spiritual connection. An overactive crown chakra, you're either addicted to spirituality, you crave attention, you're needing to be popular, and you may be overerotic or have an overerotic imagination. So, what does a balanced crown chakra look like? So, you experience joy. You're connected to the source while also being aware of your own individuality. You're wise and you're also compassionate. So, let's talk now about the shadow aspects of the crown chakra. So, spiritual escapism or addiction. So we did not incarnate on this planet just to run away from all earthly matters. Spirituality is important, but it is not more important than tending to our human life. You may think that the more spirituality will help you, the better to integrate your soul, but it is in fact it has the opposite effect. So our career, our family, our responsibilities, and friends are all included in who we are. So ignoring these creates further disconnection. So this ties into people who focus solely on the spiritual connection, or so they seek spiritual escapism. They're constantly looking to meditate, and they may meditate for for entire hours a day and be fully engulfed in spirituality. And you may think that this is helping them achieve a higher consciousness or helping their soul, but they're really forgetting about the things that also help our soul, which are our career, our family, our responsibilities, our friends, which give us fulfillment in our life. So again, this comes to finding a balance of spirituality and earthly matters. So the shadow aspect may also be imposing your belief system onto others. So our belief systems is another primary way that the shadow shows up. So we all develop a unique perspective on the world based on our backgrounds and experiences. And our resulting belief systems shape our entire experience. But for some, it is not enough for them alone to have their own opinions or perspectives. So when insecurity mixes with their beliefs, the shadow causes them to engage in abuse and manipulation. So these people use these tactics to impose their beliefs onto others because they think they need everyone around them to share their mindset so they can feel somewhat secure with their own beliefs. So this is when you see people who try to convince you of their beliefs and will nonstop um, try to impose and manipulate and abuse you to believe what they believe. When in reality, we just need to have confidence in our own beliefs, and it is not necessary to impose our belief system to anybody. Our belief system is our own, and we don't need that validation from anybody else. So the shadow aspect, you may experience attachment issues, and this may manifest in two ways. So, if you read a few spiritual books, you may be familiar with the idea of non attachment. So, non attachment is the idea that you should not have an emotional attachment to anyone or anything in the earthly realm. Some people misunderstand this by not owning things or having any people in their life. And some people even go to the point of, you know, quitting their jobs, selling everything, literally getting rid of everything. And some attachment is fine. You just don't want to be overly controlling of others or allow an attachment to determine your happiness and self worth. So, again, it comes to finding the balance of being attached to some things, but it not being a determination of your happiness and self worth. And then the other way the shadow aspect for attachment can manifest is an over attachment. So this occurs especially in people who don't have a spiritual life. So any over dependence on anything, whether money, a belief system, a person, or a thing, is unhealthy. An over attachment means that the thing you are attached to will always have control over your emotional well being. So you can enjoy your friends and family and don't need to feel guilty about some luxuries. Just remember they are not the source of your happiness and well being. You have to remember that you are the source of your happiness and well being. Another shadow aspect is the need to be right. So when the shadow dominates the crown chakra, we can become quite stubborn in our beliefs. The shadow always exposes insecurities, and nothing good comes from mixing insecurity with a stubborn mindset. So we become uncomfortable with the idea of being wrong, so we double down on our ideas and try to force people to see things our way because we can't handle being wrong or being contradicted. All right, so if those are the shadow aspects and the most common things that we can experience with a blocked crown chakra, so how do we heal this chakra? We could heal it through crystals, which contain energy healing energies and vibrations that can clear out the blockages and bring the energy into balance. So we're looking for crystals to deepen meditation practices and connect to spirit. So selenite, amethyst, lapis lazuli, and clear quartz are just some. You could also use essential oils that will help calm your emotions and keep you balanced. So look for those that help with getting in touch with the spiritual realms and your soul. So lavender, rose, neroli, myrrh, and frankincense. You may also heal your crown chakra with diet. So foods that are the same purple or white colors. So blueberries, grapes, coconut, onion, garlic, and mushrooms. If you practice yoga, so you may practice these poses to help you unblock or clear out any blockages. So a headstand, standing forward fold pose, the lotus pose, the crocodile pose, and the rabbit stand. You may also practice affirmations. So, affirmations help rewire the brain to remove limiting beliefs and replace them with positive ones. So, these are helpful to say when you wake up, right when you wake up in the morning or right before going to sleep. So, some of these are: I am guided by my inner wisdom, I am open to new ideas, I am connected to the universe, I release all unhealthy attachments, I surrender myself to what is, and I am connected to everyone and everything. You may also journal in order to do shadow work. So, journaling will help you uncover and process and work through your limiting beliefs. So, some of these journaling prompts are: do I feel a calling in my soul? And what is this calling? Do I believe I have a life's purpose? What is it? Am I actively working towards it? What can I do to feel more inner peace? Who is God to me? And what can I do to connect to this higher power? So that concludes our class for today. So there is, of course, the guided meditation slash Reiki healing on the channel. Um, and then also take some time to do some of the um, shadow work prompts. And any questions, please write in the comments. And this is the end of this series. So thank you for joining me. Hit the like button and subscribe, as I will be providing more teachings in the future.